In the name of God, I hope to be fine. At this video, we want to start learning Python, and then step by step learn how to write code and how to program for a neural network and deep neural network using Python. At first, I will explain about how we can install Python in the Google. We write Python. Okay. Go to the python.org and then go to download, as you see here. And then according to the OS, you can use Windows, Mac, or other platforms. For example, my OS is Windows. Then you download the Python. Okay. After downloading the Python, you can install it. This is the execution file. After that, you must run it to install it. And important things in the installation step is that you must put the tick in the add Python to pass. Put the tick to add Python to pass. It causes to add the interpreter to the Python. I downloaded before, and then here, for example, I search Python. See here, I have 0.9, but I need to open IDLE. E is the interpreter of Python. This is like this, okay? And we call it shell. In option, you can configure this shell. For example, you can change the type of fonts, the color of this environment. For example, classic, this white or new. You can change each color, but I prefer dark. I think it is better. Case, general things you can change, but you know the default parameters always usually is the best. Okay. Then we want to program in this environment that we call it IDE, is an integrated development environment. Is the environment of programming. And what is the programming? Is the summation, is the gathering of some instructions with a specific goal. We call this coding a program. And as you know, for program we need some input and then some mathematics equations. Maybe we need some conditional executations, and maybe we need some repetitions. And finally we have output. We all these parameters in each program, and also we have these things in neural networks. Okay. And for the first time, the first code in the Python, for example, 5 plus 2 is equal 7. You see this signs is related that the shell, the Python, is ready to get some coordinates. And you know 5 minus, for example, 2 is 3. 2 minus 5 is minus 3. 2 multiplied 5, 10. 14 divided by 5 is 8. 2 to power 2 is 4. 3 2 star means power. 3 power 2 9. Okay. And for example, 4 power 1 divided by 2 is equal to 2. This is like a square. Okay. As you see, we can these things in Python. And for example, we can assign these things to a value. For example, a is equal to 10. Okay, and if we type a, we can see that the output is 10. The name of this value, must not be a keyword of Python. For example, if we have class C, the color of this value will change, but it means that it is not good name. Anyway, I write it. We see that it is syntax error. Okay. Okay. Then in this way we can assign some value to some amount or some things to value, and this value may be integer, string, float, or some things. And we have expression and a statement. For example, a is equal to 10. It is an extension. Assign 10 to a. But expression is the, for example, is the gathering of some values and operations. For example, a is equal to 10, b is equal to 3. Then if we have a plus b, we have 13. Okay, we called this expression and we call this assignment. Okay, and you see that when I type something, for example, car is equal to ABC, and if I type car, I can see it. If I write print car, the output is ABC. But if I said print ABC, we have again error. Okay. Again, I can Python. Okay. And then I wrote print ABC. Then we have error. And you see that for print, we need to put the string or something in this single quote or in double quote. Both of them is correct. Okay. And another thing is the type of this. If, for example, we have some value and we don't know the type, we can type, for example, type ABC is string. Type, for example, 5 is integer. Type 0.2 is float. Okay, we have different class according to this. Another thing, we can open file and a new file, and then and then we have this anyway. Then, for example, I said we can write code and save, and then in the future we use this code. For example, A is 5. B is 12, and A plus B. If we run it, we said that Python said that must be saved. Okay. For example, in this tab, I write it with test. Okay. And then here in the shell, we can't see anything because only write it. We can set print A plus B, and then again save. After that, run. Now you can see it. Okay. And then as you see, the name is test.py. py is the shorten of Python. Okay. Okay. And another thing, if we have some operation, for example, 2 plus 8 over to 12 minus 10. What do you think about the result? The first thing is the calculation inside the parentheses. Okay. Then after that, this power, exponentiation. Then after that, multiplied or division. Then we guess that, okay, the first parenthesis is 10, the second is 2, and then after that, the next order is this power, 10 power to 2. then the result must be 100. Okay. Sometimes, for example, another example, 6 plus 4 divided 2. The first thing, the first order is this division. After that, the summation. Okay, you know this. Only I review it. Another thing, if you have a string, for example, if I have 8 is equal to A, B, C, or another thing, it is better that I say A, B, C plus G, H, J. Oh, sorry. Then this class has to have this string, this new string. But if we have minus instead of plus, then we have error. Then the first thing is that the summation can operate on a string. Another thing is that, for example, ABC multiplied 2. The result is ABC, ABC. Okay. Another thing is that if we have comments, we need comments for why we use something. I can use this, you know. And then, for example, I said that this program is for testing. And then I must save and then run. Okay. Okay. I wrote something and then I'm reviewing it. Another thing is the syntax. Is the error, about the error. You see that sometimes we have syntax error. It is related to the typing. Sometimes maybe we have runtime error. Runtime error means that, for example, the first two line run, but here we have some bug, then it stops. And semantic error is related to the code runs, but the output of this error is not our desired output. Okay. Now I open some example. For example, go to here, advanced algorithm, close, Python programming, and then here, and then here. We have this. We have this code. Of course, I use this code from some video teaching in an famous Iranian website. It is related to Faradars. This simple code, and then I decided explain according to this because they are so simple. You see that from datetime import datetime. This datetime is module, and this datetime is a submodule. Okay, and this is a comment in this Python. And module, what is module? Another question. When we have, we can make some functions. We will learn how we make functions. The gathering of some functions make module, and some modules make library. Then we can set that a function is a number of modules, and write by mouse. Then it is under the library. Again, also we can set that, okay, we have some functions, summation of the related functions. Here we have some functions, for example, f1, f2. We can put it in a modules, and then some modules, some related modules make library. Okay. Then from datetime is a modules, import from these modules, import another modules. Okay, this is sub modules. And then we define this array, we called it odds, and then we define this value with this name, write this minute, datetime. This datetime is this. Then today is a function. From today we called minute. If write this minute in odd, in this odd, print odd minute. Else print not an odd minute. Another thing is an if else. If something in this array, semicolon, print something. If this condition is true, print odd minute. Else, again, semicolon. Else means if it is not true. If this condition is false, print this. Okay. Then you can see that now the time is around 1:14. Then it is not an odd minute. Okay. Again, I can wait to have a odd minutes, then after that I run it. Okay. Another code. Again, we define this value by this name. Year is a loner, month number is 10. We defined it. If year is equal to loner, then in if we have another if. Then semicolon, attention to this. If mouse number is equal to 9, semicolon, print Azab. For example, the name of this mountain in Iran is Azab. Else, if it is not true, print another mouse. Else if. Elif. Elif means else if year is equal to Gregorian, print 2021. Else semicolon, print 1400. Okay, I saved this before. Then because this is not 9, the mount number is 10, then you can see another mouse. For example, if we are 10, then I have to save it and then run it. See, it is awesome. Okay. And the last one for this session, I said from daytime is the name of module, import daytime. Then import time, import random after that. Then again, odds. It is like the previous code. For I, we have sometimes we need some repetitions. For I in range 4. Range 4, range again, run it. Range 4. And then we can A is equal to range 4 and A. See that? This is, we always say that, okay, range 0, 4. It means that the first value of range is 0, and then the last, how many, or the last one is the 4 minus 1. Okay, for I in range 4, if right, this time, yeah. In odd, print odd units. Else, and of course semicolon, else semicolon, print not an odd. And wait time, random, rand it, this, and there are some functions that is related to random. We import this random here. Okay, and then after importing random to this program, we can use the facilities of this random here. Rand int 1 and 16. Okay, this is randomly between 1 to 16. Randomly select a number, an integer number, and then another facility is time dot sleep. This cause that this code doesn't work. Stop. Again, if I run it, at this time it is 1 19, then we have a minute, then again randomly it select another number in this, and then we must wait. How many times it repeats? Around 4. And then again randomly select between 1 to 16. We must wait. Okay, and the last one we have this. Okay, then for this session it is enough, but for the last time in the python.org you can go to DAX, okay, and see about the library references, or also you can go to PyPy here and search. For example, you can search about the neural networks, artificial neural network, dendritic neural network. Okay, you can find many codes for neural network. Now this is enough for this session, and thanks for your attention.